Hi everyone, so today I want to show you my new car. I bought it about 2 weeks ago, and what did I do? I took holidays from work and drove down to Sydney, which it sort of worked out because my sister went on holiday, so now I'm looking after her cat for a month. This is my new baby. It's the Skoda Kodiaq, or Skoda as they pronounce it in the Western world, but the proper thing is Skoda. This is the 140 kilowatt 400 newton meter of torque diesel model. I've put on all the optional accessories, which was the tech pack and the comfort pack. The only reason I didn't choose a sunroof was because of something you lose if you get the sunroof, and I'll get to that later. First of all, from the outside, now you'll notice that the car is dirty, and basically in Sydney it's been raining pretty much every second day, so I had it clean 2 days ago. Now I've just given up on washing it. So with the European brake pads, for whatever reason, they get dirty a lot quicker, they generate a lot more dust, so I would have driven about 250 k's, and this is what the rim looks like. So it's pretty dirty. If you have a look at the back wheel, this is sort of what it should look like, nice and shiny. The windows are a bit darker than normal. I've had all these tinted. There's two different tint shades. Didn't want it all to be super dark to look like a mafia car. So I got this done at Tint Mart in Slacks Creek in Brisbane. This is the darkest legal tint on the front and slightly less on the back. The rear windows were already factory tinted, so that's why it looks a bit different. If I had this same tint on the front, on the back, this would be totally black. Moving to the rear here, the boot opener, the whole leg press thing actually works, and the boot pops open. So you got a boot cover in here which clicks and slides away. Obviously it's come with 7 seats. I know there's a 5-seater in Europe. I really wish they brought the 5-seater to Australia. I will never use these seats. I could have had all this storage space. Instead I have 2 seats that will never go up. The other thing you have here is a nice 12-volt socket, so you can put a fridge or whatever else you decide you want to hook in the boot, drone batteries if you're into that, and all that stuff. You also have shopping bag holders, so it doesn't fly all over your boot. And you have another one on this side. Everything is LED. So far I've found one bulb that is an LED, and we'll get to that. Here you have a torch that you can remove, although it's not very bright. In here you have a little bit of storage space, and this snugly fits here when you're not using it. So there's a bit of storage space here. I've just have my tripod for photography and some straps whenever I have to carry something on a trailer. I didn't get the hook on there yet. I'll do that at the first service. I bought this car out of Melbourne, then it got shipped to Brisbane, then I drove it to Sydney. So I didn't want them doing anything down there. Pretty much I just bought it and I said put it on the truck and get it up here to Brisbane. In here it came with the cargo net, so I don't know, you can put stuff under it if you don't want it flying. These are just some cheap screwdrivers I had that I throw in here. You never know what you'll need them for. That's on that side. Here's just another type. If I really need to change a tyre, I'd want something to have on the ground so I don't get dirty. If I'm going from work, it's good to have something. Same with these cloths. I got to get a pair of leather gloves in here. Haven't got around to that yet. It's a space saver Continental tyre. Some, your tools, tow hook, and this tool to remove the little plastic caps before you take the wheels off the tyre. This I've put in there myself. Same with the fire extinguisher. You never know when you'll need one. I just like to carry one. Cars also come with 2 of these. Oh, that's not what I want to do. There we go. So that's removable. That's good to know. What these are good for is, and I've actually used this when I drove down, is you can put, like, imagine your suitcase is here and you put it on two corners of the suitcase. What does that do? It stops the suitcase from flying around, so I thought it was pretty good to have, and I'm surprised other car manufacturers don't have this, because it really helps when you're driving around corners. You no longer hear that thump thump as the suitcase flies from side to side. On the other side of the boot you have where the medical kit is supposed to go. Of course, in Australia this isn't a requirement by law, so there is nothing in here. There is also a little strap in there for it. I do plan to get one because that's another thing that's good to have. Finishing off with the boot, it comes down with the push of a button. Coming here to the petrol tank, this vehicle was designed for the Euro 6 standard, which is the latest emission standard. So in addition to your normal fuel, you also have a little tank for AdBlue, and AdBlue essentially sprays the liquid in the exhaust that reduces emissions. Now we're going to look at the interior. The first thing you'll notice when you open the door, a little protector pops out, and this is so you don't hit other cars. This system works just on this little button here, which gets pushed against that, and that forces the protector to retract. The other interesting thing in the Skodas is you have an umbrella in the door. Both you and the front passenger get an umbrella. The rear ones get wet in the rain. Down here you have this light, which, hang on, that's warm. Okay. Now I have three lights that are not LEDs. I've just moved the car over here because the way the sun was going inside, it was playing havoc with the camera. So this is the interior. You have leather seats that are heated and ventilated. This is something that I really like. My Kia Sorento had it, and I wasn't about to get a car without ventilated seats, because in summer that is the greatest thing you can have, is to get in, push a button and have that cold air coming up. It's just great. Stops your back from getting sweaty. It's perfect. Down here we can see we have 3 seat position settings. Most cars have 2. I know Mercedes has 3, so this is a really nice feature. And you have your backwards, forwards. I don't think that button does anything else, and you can make this thing go up, you can go down, back, forward. I did that backwards, I know. And then this is your little lumbar support, so you can move it out, you can make it go up, you can make it go down. And now that I've played with that and totally screwed it up, let's just hold one so it comes back to how I like it. Perfect. This Kodiaq sill plate, this was an optional accessory that I got, as well as the front and rear mud flaps. I got all that stuff thrown in for free. Just the rear ones were like $215, and I wasn't about to pay that. That's ridiculous for a piece of plastic that probably costs about $5 at the most to make. So going on the interior, it's very similar layout and functions to a Volkswagen. Down here you have your lighting control, and I just keep it on auto. It works for me. If you pull it out once, that's the front fog lights. Pull it out again, that's rear. And now I've got that message that's come on. So we'll push all that up and everything's good. The start button is here. Contrary to, I know Volkswagen cars have it near the gear stick somewhere. So this is a bit different. And steering wheel, very similar to a Volkswagen, except you have a Skoda badge in there. You got a small infotainment display here that has all sorts of functions you can cycle through, which tells you, various things. And here you have voice control, which works surprisingly well. Down here is your adaptive cruise control, so that's off, and you flick it forward to on, and to turn that on you push it towards yourself and it comes on. You push down to lower the speed and up to increase the speed. It increases in blocks of 10, and what speed you're on, what you've got it set to, displays down there. So if I move it up, 30 is the minimum, so that's 30, 40, 50, and so on. Pushing it back turns it off and shows you the total kilometers that this car's done in its life. Here you have a big infotainment screen, which has all sorts of, you can basically control anything in this car. The headlights, the aircon, aircon screen is interesting. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can control there. Car settings, like, see this bluey color, you can change that to orange, you can change it to white, you can really customize the hell out of this car. Down here is your stock standard aircon controls. This rest button is useless in Australia, but, well, maybe in Victoria it can be used. You can basically use the heat of the engine to keep the interior warm for, I think it's up to 20 minutes. That's your parking assist, stop start system on off, hazard lights, and lock, unlock the car. Let's put this in neutral. Down here, cigarette lighter, of course that's plastic. USB plug, I just keep my USB. I find CarPlay to be useless. I'd much rather use the Skoda system, so I just keep my music USB in there. This is your wireless phone charger, which works pretty well. It does charge slower with the case, but I can live with that. So you put it there, you'll start charging, and on this screen a little thing will come up saying your phone's being charged. Let's put that back into park. So down here you have the off-road mode, which I'll adjust the car for off-road. Whether you want traction control off, automatic park brake, auto stop start, you can turn it off. And this mode button is used to adjust the adaptive chassis control and all those systems. Basically you push that, you'll get a nice screen there, and basically what you want to choose that the car's in. I like comfort mode, it's comfortable. Having a look at what's down here, you have an armrest, which is also leather, and you move that up, you have some of my things there, so you have some storage area for wallets and stuff. And what's interesting is here, this spot, it's designed to fit like a parking ticket, which is very handy when you're going shopping. You can just leave your ticket there and know it's there. Here, that's another drink holder. It's a bit smaller than the standard drinking bottles. And if I just grab a stock standard 600ml bottle in Australia, it won't fit. So I've resigned to the fact that bottles will now live in the door. Good news is coffee cups fit fine. 7-Eleven coffee, yes, I'm a cheapskate. So that lives there. The armrest, which I really like on long drives, it's adjustable. So I can bring it out, push it in, adjust it to whatever I want, and it's good. Of course, if you're parked somewhere, you don't want it up so people can't see what's in that compartment. You just put it down. Up here on the roof of the car, you have the sun visor with another little ticket card holder and a mirror, so you can see yourself. And a light that comes on when you open the mirror and goes off when you close it. Now, if you leave it open and want to put the sun visor up, it also goes out. Up here you have a very nicely designed rear vision mirror that's got auto dimming. So if the guy behind you has all these, high beams on, it will auto dim. And same thing with the side mirrors. I love that feature. Going on up here with the other options, of course, naturally that's LED as well. Passenger light, do you want the door light to come on? That's off, that's on. Do you want just the rear lights to come on? You push that and all the rear lights come on. I suppose that would be handy if you're a taxi or something. And this light will turn on every light on in the car. Here you have a sunglass holder. So I probably don't need mine currently. So we'll put them in there, we'll close that. And this is what you don't get if you get a sunroof. So you get sunroof, you get no sunglass holder. I like this feature too much to get a sunroof. In Europe, this part here has emergency buttons, and so if you push a button you can get the police out, the ambulance, whatever. If you push another button you can get the technical people on the phone to help you with something. And I think there is a third button, I forgot what it does, but that is a very handy feature to have, and I don't know why it didn't come in Australia. There's a few features in this car which didn't come to Australia. So the feature that didn't come in Australia that's available in Europe is this nice feature that allows you to have an app on your phone called Skoda Connect, which basically lets you talk to the car when you're not in the car. You can see the car's position, you can change the settings in the car. There's all sorts of things you can do from your phone when you're not in the car. And I'm really disappointed that that didn't come to Australia. I was looking forward to that coming, and then it didn't turn up in this model here. Like, there is a SIM card slot in the glove box, and I have put a SIM in there, but it just does nothing. So this is the passenger compartment. It's pretty roomy for me. I'll never sit in it, but it is roomy. The driver's area is also very roomy overall. And the interesting thing here is you have two glove boxes. So that's one glove box, and this is the main glove box. And down here is where you have a space for a CD, SD cards. That's where you can also put music, and where I have my SIM card. This is where the other light is that's not LED. You can obviously see it's yellow. The glove box is also cooled, so you can turn that on. It cools. I've got no reason to cool it, so I'll close it. It's also, like, there's not much in here. There's just the manual, and I keep meaning to post this back, but it just lives in there. I should probably put it on the seat so I remember. This is the rear area, and it's also got that same protector like the front has. Same nice door design, but you also have this curtain. Like, despite the windows being tinted, if you really don't want to be seen, or you hate the sun, or you hate the world that day, whatever, you can put that up and really be isolated back here. The seats, despite looking thin, are very comfortable. You got a headrest, you can move up. Here you have the armrest for the people in the back. It's pretty basic. It's a bit flimsy. I think they could have made it thicker, so at least rests on this, has a bit more support. This will hold soft drinks, but that bottle of water, let's give that a test. It will not hold bottle of water. This is the floor area, and like when you sit in here, you can barely see that down there, the vents. There are, I've seen on eBay, you can buy little silvery things to cover those up, but you know, I won't be sitting here. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. Sitting in the rear seat, like, I'm 172 centimeters, and I have plenty of space. However, like most cars, I don't care whether it's an SUV or a sedan or whatever, you would not want 3 adults in the back, because it just doesn't work. You will see down here, it gives you the current temperature on off. And you know, you can adjust these as in any other car. The rear seats are heated, which the rear passengers in Europe will be very thankful, not so much in Australia. Pushing that on will give you 3 levels of intensity of it. Starts off on the most powerful, and you can turn it down and switch it off. I've got the option to, let's say I'm really cold and I want to go on high, so I suppose after 29.5 it goes to high. Below the aircon you have a 12-volt plug. You can plug an iPhone or whatever. In Europe they actually have a full-on electrical plug and USB chargers. I feel like they could have put USB chargers here, but that didn't happen for whatever reason, and all we got is a plug with a spring-loaded door. On the nice front seats here, we have a little pocket and a water bottle holder on the rear door. Up here, you have your light controls that are also LED, and they work quite well, and they're very bright. Like, even in sunlight, you notice them. The good thing with the rear window is when you push open, the window actually goes down all the way. I know in some SUVs they tend to go to about here, some crap like that. This one all the way. So that's quite good. Not that I'll ever use this. That's pretty much it for the rear seats. One thing I forgot to mention that I probably should have mentioned at the start of the video is the locking system. And it gives you 3 options for locking and unlocking. Basically, you have the option when you press unlock for it to unlock the whole car. The second option is you want it to just unlock your side of the car, so these 2 doors. Or the third option, which I've got it set to, is just to unlock the door that I've unlocked. Obviously, you can only unlock your door or the front passenger in that mode. You cannot unlock rear doors. You have to unlock one of the front 2 doors first. And to lock it, apart from using the remote, you just touch that and the car locks. Unlocking the car, you just put your hand here. It senses your hand with the key in your pocket. Car unlocks. As previously mentioned, rear doors won't unlock. So if you want to unlock the rest of the car, there's 2 options. You can either double tap the unlock button and that will unlock the whole car. The second option is, say you're already in the car, you push the lock button and that will unlock the rest of the car. Alright people, so that's pretty much it on this video. When I get home, hopefully it's dark enough in the garage and I'll do a quick video of all the interior lights at night. This is what it looks like inside. So it has this little blue LED line and it has it on the back doors as well. So the rest of the interior is also nicely lit up. Just wanted to mention about these little door LEDs. You can change color, same as you can change the background color on this stuff. You can also change all the colors of that. If you go into the settings menu, the light here, and coming home, leaving home, I was going to find where it is because it might be background lighting. That's the one. So I've got it set to blue. If you switch it to green, you will notice on here that has changed to green. Now we have a green line. So that's something interesting. And all the headlights and everything's LED. Here's the fog lights are now on as well. So that's the fog lights. They're actually powerful. I've had fog lights on cars before, including the Kia Sorento, which do absolutely nothing. Hope you didn't find the video too boring, and thanks for watching. It is a lovely car. I love driving it. Alrighty, thanks for watching.